And that's what Zelensky's doing. I mean, there's no darker period than to have a bully on your border willing to bomb innocent people and destroy infrastructure, force people to live in the cold, and yet here's a leader that is defiant for the good of his people. People of Ukraine have suffered mightily. The thing that is instructive to the American people, or should be, is how brave the Ukrainian people are and how they refuse to be conquered by its neighbor. And so, you know, there's going to be more atrocity. The question is, will the Ukrainian people continue to show the bravery they've shown? And that's why I'm so sad that President Zelensky couldn't join us, because he's a tough dude. And he's going to hang in there, and so long as he gets the support needed. We're generous, decent people that care about the human condition elsewhere. We recognize we can't solve all world problems, but we certainly can deal with the big ones. And there's no bigger problem than to have a young democracy bullied by its neighbor, by an autocrat. And we should care about the human condition elsewhere, and we should care about whether or not this young democracy survives, because it's in our national interest. Zelensky, if he were here, and I would ask him, do you think there's a deal to be made? He'd say no. He might put out some, fig leaf or something. But the idea of saying, okay, now that Putin has destroyed our country, let's cut a deal with him, you can have a third of our country, is not going to happen.
Just a couple of weeks ago, in recognition of the unprecedented challenge facing democracy and its advocates, Taiwan hosted the 11th Global Assembly of the World Movement. At this Global Assembly, we had the special honor of welcoming parliamentarians and members of civil society from Ukraine. I had the pleasure of meeting them and of speaking to them in person. Our efforts must not stop here. The menacing behavior of authoritarian regimes should be a wake-up call to all democracies. We must work together to strengthen our resilience and safeguard our values. The dangerous potential of authoritarian regimes to corrode democratic institutions and tarnish human rights and civic space cannot be ignored. Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine serves as a prime example.